Welcome back to Born of Unsilenced Voices on March the 7th, 2026. This is a space for truth spoken without fear, without apology, and without permission. This is not entertainment. This is testimony. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. Now it's time to kick back. As mentioned in Time of a Shift, some of Quantum CQ Sense's content begins transitioning here. Take a moment to like, subscribe, because I want to hear the real you. With that said, let's step into the truth. This evening, I'm choosing to share a part of myself I hid for years. A part I thought I had buried so deep I'd never have to face her again. But how can I ask for tranquility, for real peace, for respect, if I refuse to face the girl, the woman in the mirror? Healing demands accountability, not punishment, presence. It required me to sit in every emotion, every memory, every vibration of my own energy, and allow the divine to reach backwards, holding the hand of the little girl still inside of me, speaking to her with love, patience, and protection she deserved but didn't receive. This was the only way every version of me could finally meet. The only way I could forgive the parts of myself that carried shame, regret, and pain heavy enough to nearly break me. And still, I had to go deeper. Because what healing actually demands was this: releasing identities that were never mine to begin with. They were projections, other people's insecurities, other people's expectations, other people's fear of being truly seen. So many people attach false selves to others just to avoid confronting their own reflection. At some point, we must decide. We must crave self-healing more than we crave approval, more than air. I won't lie and say it was easy, because it wasn't. But it was attainable. And my faith, my connection to the divine proved stronger than anything trying to pull me backwards. There were moments I wanted to quit. I wanted to give in. And every single time, that inner voice rose up and said, "What do you think you are doing? This isn't you. Get up. Start again. Make it count. You know who you are. And who cares what they believe? Stand up like the queen I created you to be. I'm right here. I'll handle the rest." When you truly believe in that strength, the stories people attach to you lose power. Yes, I know exactly who I am. And so does the divine. Here's a truth many kings and queens don't say out loud. When we finally walk away, when we release what no longer serves us, we always look good doing it. because we're not running, we're rising. I want to take you back with me to Chicago. Yes, we've been here before. Now let's do it again. The North Side, where I grew up, and the South Side, where I spent a lot of time as well. But more than the place, I want to talk about a season and one person. I'll call him E. Our families were intertwined. Same neighborhood, same school, same spiritual space. Our connection formed quietly, layered with innocence, humor, and safety I didn't yet have a language for. There was trust. There was comfort. There was a bond that felt grounding, especially during moments when the world felt heavy. With him, my body could rest. My nervous system could exhale, and that matters. If your body doesn't feel safe beside someone, if it can't relax, you need to listen. Our bodies recognize truth long before our mouths catch up. As we grew, feelings complicated what had once been simple. And still, I kept parts of myself locked away, not because I didn't feel, but because experience had taught me that vulnerability wasn't always safe. So I became the listener, the supporter, the strong one, smiling when I wanted to scream, laughing when I was breaking. And eventually, life pulled us in different directions. Years later, we crossed paths again as adults, and I realized something important. Unresolved moments don't disappear just because time passes. They wait. I'm gonna pause from the script for a moment. When I had that conversation with E, for a brief second, I thought I was speaking to someone who truly knew me, someone who understood my heart, someone I could trust. Like I said before, just because time passes doesn't mean things disappear. Sometimes they just wait. During that conversation, he brought up a time when he felt slighted by me over something. Hearing that made me stop and think, because sometimes people hold on to memories without really stepping back and seeing the full picture, especially when it comes to me. E, there are a few things I need for you to remember. Remember who it was who made sure your head was greased and brushed. Remember who it was who made sure your face was well moisturized before you got out in the street. Remember who it was who put food in your belly every time you come to her house. And those nice lips of yours was well moisturized with Carmax. And if you had a hole in your sock, who it was who made sure your foot had a new pair on it. Oh, I'm not saying this to shame you or read you in any way. Young man, I'm saying it so you understand my heart. If you or your sister were walking with me, you were going to come out looking right. If I had it, you had it as well. I was never going to let you walk beside me looking less than. And I was never going to embarrass you or pretend I didn't know you when you were around other people. And I would never call someone my friend who bullied you or bullied me. That was never who CQ was, and it still ain't. So before you hold on to memories of being hurt by me, I need you to remember the whole story or the parts you're trying to leave out. I know my mouth can be lethal, and I won't pretend it ain't. But I don't waste that kind of power on people who don't deserve it and more. When my words come out sharp, it's because someone pushed past a line that had to be defended. What I carried the longest wasn't love anymore. It was how I handled my pain in that moment. The ways I hardened, the ways I acted from hurt instead of truth. And I own that fully. Healing required humility, accountability without self-destruction, and the courage to say the words I once avoided. So I apologized, not to reopen doors, but to close them cleanly, because I refuse to leave this life with unresolved truths where peace is possible. What I needed wasn't nostalgia. It wasn't desire. I needed to know if the adult version of him understood respect, honesty, boundaries, and responsibility. Because the version of me sitting here, I understand that now. I move with integrity. I honor my word. I build trust intentionally. And if someone shows me exactly who they are, child, I believe them. Didn't I tell you that I am deeply intuitive? I feel what isn't said. I hear what's hidden beneath tone and timing. By the time you recognize that I clearly see you, I'm already gone. There will be no more conversations, no corrections, no return. Only the divine could turn me back, and he hasn't. So forward is the only place I exist now. CQ conducts all business with integrity. When I give my word, I stand by it. Remember, you did it.